Hello and welcome to a review of a Lego Harry Potter set, and not one from the 2001 old school yellow era, not one from our modern times in like 2018 since the reboot. This is the brief moment in 2010 and 2011 where they brought Harry Potter back, and then the second the movies ended, they swiftly, left it behind for a little bit. Looking back, I remember this being a bigger deal. But it kind of feels like a gap, a little gap filler. There's only 2 waves, which is really interesting. The second one only had 4 sets, so really it was just one big Harry Potter year and then some spillover. But this was one of the sets they released. This is The Burrow. It is the second largest set of the first wave. I think the largest was Hogwarts, I'm guessing. Actually, maybe the Hogwarts Express. I don't remember which year that came out in. But yeah, this was a bigger set. It is the Weasleys' home. And I have a lot of things to say about this one. There's a lot of good, but there's also one huge problem that to me ruins the entire set. So let's get into it. First, let's just take a quick look at the minifigures, because I feel like it just gets into one of the big problems with this set that I want to talk about. So let's look at this minifigure. This is the mom of the Weasleys. I don't really remember her name. I don't know. What I do know is that this is an amazing minifigure. You've got this wonderful, detailed, colorful, cartoonish design that, due to the fact that they don't have any skin color on the actual clothes part, you can basically make it any color you want. Yellow skin, you can make it another person of color, anything. Super great, versatile print, even as back printing. This hairpiece is great. I even like the expression well enough. I think it's dual-sided. No, it's not dual-sided, so you just get the one. But this is an amazing minifigure, and it kind of reminds me of the old-school Harry Potter designs, like Dumbledore from 2001. Just that sort of a bit cartoonish, but very fun and whimsical and detailed approach. And then you have this guy who is, I'd say, very similar to the modern approach, where I'm sure he looks like the character, but it seems like very little was done in terms of imagination when it comes to this design. He's got werewolf hair, very, kind of a generic overused hairpiece. The printing isn't especially great. It's just kind of a jacket because he wears a jacket, I guess. But it's really, really boring. And this is not a interesting character design. I don't care about this character. The figure has to sell me on it. Like, I don't care about this character either in the story. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. I haven't watched or read the book since I was a child, but this sells me on the character. I think this is a cool character. And even like Harry has the same problem where it's just so boring, such a boring design. It's not versatile. I don't know. It just doesn't do much. Arthur Weasley's the same. Bellatrix does come with this set, who is a pretty cool figure, but I don't have them. I also don't have the rest of Ginny. I just have their head. So that's that. But yeah, to me, I feel like these figures are kind of the core of what this set represents, where it's like this midpoint between the more fantastical takes on Lego building of the 2000s versus the very, source material based, way things revolve in the 2010s and 2020s. So let's look at the set itself. We've got 2 side builds, which I'll quickly get into. One of them is cool, the other's not. This is just a little patch of land. The burrow's on fire, I guess. There's a catapult. I guess maybe you don't put these in. Maybe you put these little things. And the idea is that you catapult into the burrow. This is like the bad guy part of it. Yeah. It doesn't do anything. It's all for play. But this is kind of getting into the combat in a box idea, I guess. Bellatrix and Wolfman are the bad guys. Combat in a box. Sure. It's very underwhelming, as this stuff kind of tends to be. Like, if you didn't have this part of the set, nobody would really care. There is this side build, though, which is a furnace that has a cool play feature that they have done many times. But the idea is that you put a character in there, and you flip. You don't break it, but you flip to kind of swing them away, and it's fun. It's cool. The sticker here, kind of making a fire effect, is very, very clever. And this sticker I really do enjoy. It's very funny having like a minifigure people as like a painting, and I definitely use this in a different context because I don't think I'm going to keep the set forever. But hey, we've got this cool house. And this house is cool. I don't know if that toothbrush I just pulled out was in the frame the entire time. I use that for cleaning sets. But this house is cool. It has a good color scheme. Light blue, nougat. You've got tan. You've got dark red and brown. But the problem is those colors. Those are colors that, while they look nice, and while I would argue the balance is a little bit off, there should be a little less brown, maybe a little more light blue. The problem is that these colors were not well produced by Lego. Specifically, dark red and dark brown are known, or actually, I'm not 100% sure about dark brown, don't quote me on that. Dark red, at least, and brown are known to be brittle pieces. They break. They don't last. The ones from this era, after the original brown was culled in 2005, around to, people say 2018, but I'm not even 100% sure about that. Brown pieces break. And with Lego, something that's meant to be built over and over again, something that's, infinite resource, that's awful. And almost the entirety of this set is made of dark red and brown pieces. And it just makes it so hard to recommend this in any sense. Some of these pieces, so I got this from a friend who just had a bunch of pieces. I pieced this together from, their pieces. And some of the pieces were brand new. They were, in sealed bags. And even some of those broke or made awful sounds, indicating that they were going to break. And that's just unacceptable. And it just gets rid of any goodwill I have for this set. I'm sorry to say, but yeah, it's just, if the idea of me, taking this thing apart and just never being able to go back together is just awful. Just ruins the set. And it sucks because I like this set. I think it's a really good design. It has this ramshackle, cottage feel that's very unique, especially within the Harry Potter line, because Harry Potter actually has a lot of buildings, but they're all just very formal, castles. Or in the newer sets, you've got stuff like the Ministry of Magic, which is just, an office building, a British building, nothing really crazy about it. But this one has stuff going on, it tells a story. It has a lot of character with how there's clearly parts of it that are breaking off. But, the core of it's this nice, cottage, house, the light blue, all of the weird bits of it. It has character. It's quirky, but it just can't, I don't know, it's just a set that refuses to exist in that form. The new version of the set doesn't have these colors, ironically, after they fixed the issue. I think it has a lot of sand blue, and it just doesn't have the same charm as this one, where it's just so clean and nice, It's a nice, clean-looking set. But let's look at the aesthetics of this more thoroughly. On the first floor, we've got what looks like a little house. You can almost imagine this is what this started, and then they built this up as a obtrusion. But we've got one of those classic Harry Potter doors that opens like that to the interior. Different types of windows all over the place. The original set would come with some pigs. We've got some stickered elements that, just being brittle brown makes me not like them. It's fine. They're fine pieces. There's supposed to be flowers on these as well. I think they fell out. If you look, this set actually, a great thing about the set is that the interior is great. It rocks. And that's actually kind of a rarity for Lego sets ever, especially ones from, back in this time period, where they do the bare minimum for interior. But look, we've got, I've got a bunch of furniture. We've got a clock with some clever use of stickered pieces, a bureau. We've got a little kitchen with orange, which I think is a very inspired choice. It kind of reminds me of Lego's dollhouse sets, like Fabuland. They even have, little utensils that go in there. What exactly are those? Oh, 2 knives. That piece lived on for a little longer. A dinner table. It's a lot of fun. It's just really nice, And I love the aesthetic. You can fit all of the characters in there, which is really nice, All the boys can sit down. It kind of reminds me of a similar dinner table that was included in Hogwarts. But all these little knickknacks remind me of the magic of Lego Harry Potter that was present in the original waves, where they'd have stuff that, while, not necessarily based on the books, it would just give that, feeling of warmth that the original films had. specifically like, you know, Chamber of Secrets and Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone. Just very comfy, cozy, you know, this fantasy of a magical world, living there, just having fun, that kind of stuff. And they represented that by having all these fun accessories and like little colored spiders, it's colorful books, little weird gizmos and gadgets, just a world full of wonder. And this doesn't lose that entirely. It's still there. Even though Lego had changed, Harry Potter had changed, it was a much darker, you know, realistic, gritty teen series. But it's still, you know, it still has that heart. You know, having a random witch broom there is adorable. In black, too, which is very interesting. I didn't even know they still made it in that color. And that kind of stuff, it's just fun. It's fun. It's a great interior. And the cluttered nature, you could argue, makes sense because it's a cluttered building. It's a cluttered, disorganized, weird place. Yeah. Moving up to the second floor, we've got 2 bunk beds with some orange and light blue. It's really great to get a lot of medium blue because that's kind of a rare color, even though it's been around for a while. Nothing crazy going on here. It's cool that they fit so much stuff going on. You can kind of fit Harry Potter in there and 2 people. It works. Maybe some studs would be good there so they can actually fit in the bed, but that's a nitpick. And at the very top, sorry, you can see my light there. At the very top, you've got another bed, a weird cone, and a Harry Potter printed magazine, which is supposed to come off. As you can see here, let me just light this up. Harry Potter Speaks Out at Last, the Quibbler. This is a great little print. I think it was included in other sets, but it's just fun. I like that. And yeah, it's a simple interior, but it's fun. I don't know, there's just lots of different interesting things going on. And I just like that. I feel like that's a great thing for Harry Potter to be doing. You know, have that magic, have that fun in there. And this is fun, this is magic. Let's take a closer look at the exterior. We already covered how, you know, the bottom is very straight-laced, very normal, but then we have this big pillar up here that kind of obstructs, and you can see, they actually tell you to make these wooden planks look like they're falling down, as if the whole building's falling apart, and, you know, it kind of sells it with this element of it. But I love how it almost looks like a factory building with all these weird hoses going out of it, just very interesting. And they do this great transition between colors where no color is really out of the picture, but they kind of, you know, the ratio changes. Like here you've got a lot of nougat, a little bit less nougat, and then no nougat up here. I mean, I guess I said no, but... And you've got a rise of like the medium blues. There's more as it goes up. You've got, you know, less tan as you go up. And it really feels like a living, breathing place, which is really interesting for this era, because I honestly feel like a lot of these sets from 2010 to 2013 or 2012 kind of feel sterile in character. They don't have the hyper detail of new sets, and they don't have the whimsy of older sets. And while this set actually has the whimsy, it also kind of avoids the issue of just feeling lifeless. There's just a lot going on here. And I like the set. It's just a shame about that brittle brown and brittle dark red pieces. It really just ruins everything. I can't recommend this set because if you buy it, it's going to be probably expensive because it was a pricier set back then. And there's a good chance it's not going to last. It's just going to break. And that sucks. That really sucks. I don't know. It's a bummer. But yeah, this set is interesting as, you know, a way to study the Lego Harry Potter series, as well, and, you know, its evolution, or I guess de-evolution. I'm not really a huge fan of the newer sets. And just Lego, what they were doing at that time, they were just throwing out random licensed themes for a wave. This is the beginning of that. They kind of still do that today, interestingly enough. It's weird to think of Harry Potter like that, but it's kind of like the Prince of Persia theme, where it's just, you know, one and done, just 1 or 2 years for whatever new movie's going on, or I guess a Speed Racer or something like that. But yeah, it's a good set, even a great set. If you can get your hands on it for free, like I was able to, that's pretty good. I'm definitely not keeping these minifigures. I'm keeping her. She's awesome, but these guys, yeah, they're not here for this world. Thank you for watching. That is all. Hope you had a good day.